You guys know I'm very open about my faith and my faith journey, and one of the things that I've been thinking about a lot lately is I feel like I'm stagnating. Hello friends, and welcome to today's vlog. I figured that we would fold laundry and chat. One of the things I really like about vlogging that I've never had the experience of doing because I've never done regular vlogs before is that now I can just chat with you and tell you everything that's been going on over the course of the week. And I used to do that with my scoop videos, but I like this because it's a little bit less formal, so we can just hang out and I don't have to sit down and come up with topics to talk about. This way I really just get to chat with you, which is really fun. So I figured I would do it while I folded laundry because folding laundry is kind of mindless, so I can chat with you while I do it and I don't feel like I'm not doing this process with enough clarity, if that makes sense. So I wanted to chat with you guys about Rosh Hashana and the wedding that we went to. We were gone for 5 days. We went to Rhode Island. It was my first time in Rhode Island, so that was cool. And the wedding was in Newport, which is an adorable little town. It's on the coast and you're right next to the water, and there's all these really kitschy little shops, which I personally think are really fun. I know some people would feel like they were too touristy. That didn't bother me. I really like that stuff. Jacob and I actually have this thing, I've talked about it on my channel before probably, that we always go to Irish stores. Whenever we come across like an Irish, Scottish store, we always go inside. We have a fondness for that. Jacob has some of that heritage, and also we just love the culture. And so they had one there. So Jacob was able to buy a new hat, and he looks great in it. It's actually the one he wore to the wedding, so that looked really cool on him, and I was really excited because it's a great hat. And I bought a little baseball cap with an anchor on it, which I thought was really cute and just a casual thing for me to put on, which is nice. But this wedding that we went to was at an old estate called Rosecliff, maybe Rosecliff Manor, and it's amazing. It was built during the Gilded Age, it's gorgeous, and the wedding was black tie, so Jacob got to wear a tux, I got to wear a gown, and that was so much fun. You guys know that I love any opportunity to get dressed up, so that was the best. I got to wear a gown and that was so much fun. And we were there with Jacob's whole family, which was really nice. And I love weddings, so the whole weekend was lovely. And then that led into Labor Day and Rosh Hashana. So Labor Day was really spent getting ready for Rosh Hashana. And Rosh Hashana is the Jewish New Year. It's also the time of year where we're judged to see if we're going to have a good year. And then that judgment is sealed on Yom Kippur, which is the big fast Jewish holiday that you've probably heard of. And Rosh Hashana is a really important holiday. It's the beginning of the year. We're repenting. We're hopefully making plans for a better year. And we had such a meaningful holiday. We actually moved to Providence for the holiday because the synagogues in Newport still weren't allowing people into services who weren't members. So we had to find a synagogue in Providence that would be able to host us. And it was amazing. I mean, this Rosh Hashanah was so meaningful. I feel like I had a catharsis. I've been thinking about some things lately, and you guys know I'm very open about my faith and my faith journey. And one of the things that I've been thinking about a lot lately is I feel like I'm stagnating. I feel like I wasn't taking steps forward. Essentially, when COVID hit, synagogues closed down. People weren't able to go to services. And because we don't use electricity on Sabbath, we can't go to Zoom services. We weren't really able to pray with the community. And before that, when we were living in Omaha, we had gone to synagogue every week, and then COVID hit and we stopped. And since then, we've just really not gotten back into the swing of things. And I think there's a part of us, because we don't really live in a big Jewish community, that's been like, okay, when we buy a house and when we move into a Jewish community, we'll start going to services and we'll keep more. And we keep saying, when this happens, we'll do this. It's not the best way to go about things. Of course, you have to take things slowly. You have to be smart about it. You don't want to take a million steps forward really fast and then back up. But it's also important to take deliberate steps forward. And I felt like I wasn't doing that. And so Jacob and I had a really good talk before Rosh Hashana started. And we just decided we're going to be more deliberate. We're going to start taking on more. We're going to think more about the practices that we want to start observing. And I'm really excited about it. It made me feel so much more intentional. And I kind of had forgotten leading into Rosh Hashanah that, so much of it is about repentance. And then I got to the synagogue that we went to, and the first book I picked up on Rosh Hashanah said, this is the holiday of repentance. And I felt like, oh my gosh, without even realizing, I feel like I've repented. I feel like I've recognized my mistakes. And I'm really making a resolution this year to be more intentional about taking those steps forward. So I'm really looking forward to this coming Jewish New Year. I'm really excited that we're going to be practicing more, even while we're not in a Jewish community. We're going to be going to synagogue more. We're going to try to take on more observances. And I just feel so much more confident and excited about my faith and about Judaism. And I think that there's so much that we have to look forward to. So that's really exciting. The prayer services were beautiful. I'm so excited that things are open more now, that we can go to services, because we in our area now haven't had really a lot of access to that. So going to services for Rosh Hashana in Rhode Island was amazing. And the tunes are like my favorite. I love it. We sing a bunch of songs and we say all of these prayers, and it's just so meaningful. And it was such a good Rosh Hashanah. Jacob and I have talked about, what does Rosh Hashanah really mean? Because I think a lot of the time we are taught through imagery as children what's going to happen. So you have to pray really hard so you're written in the book of life. And I understand why we do that. But as a kid, Rosh Hashanah for me held a lot of fear. I was really afraid that if I didn't pray hard enough, God would punish me, or I wouldn't be able to have a good year. And it felt so kind of up to chance. And when I met Jacob, he kind of made me rethink things. And he said, I think Rosh Hashanah isn't about if you pray hard enough, God will put you in for a good year. I think it's more about the idea that it's up to you to write yourself in for a good year by the choices you make and by the things that you regret, so that you make better choices. And when he said that, it made me feel so much more in control. It was so much more about my actions and how I could improve. And Rosh Hashanah is our opportunity to kind of have a reality check of, okay, this is the time, there's a new year coming. It's your chance to actually grow and make better decisions. And you get to do that. It's not about oh, if I pray hard enough, then maybe God will give me a good year. No, you get to have a good year if you make the right choices. And that was so much more calming and so much better for me as far as my faith and as far as my relationship to the holiday. And so now I really look forward to Rosh Hashana because it's a time for me to rethink, okay, what did I do this year that I regret? And what did I do this year that I want to repeat? And what do I want to do next year that will make me even better? So it was a really positive holiday. And now we're back home. And I've just been getting back into the swing of things. Of course, we've got a ton more Jewish holidays coming up. So I will be sharing all of that with you guys because I do these vlogs every week. It's unfortunate that because we can't use electricity, I can't bring you along on the holidays, so I kind of have to give you recaps. But next week is Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur is next Wednesday night into Thursday, and that's a big holiday. So I will definitely let you guys know how that goes. But after that, we have Sukkot, and then after that, we have Shmini Atzeret, and then after that, we have Simchat Torah. So the whole month is Jewish holidays. I love the Jewish holidays. It just means that getting back into the swing of work is really difficult because you don't have a routine because every day is another Jewish holiday. It's really, really crazy, but it'll be good. So I'm going to finish up folding this laundry. I don't think I did such a good job of not staying distracted. I really didn't fold as much as I should have, but it was nice to chat. And then I'm going to bring you along for some other things that I'm doing. Shabbat. That means that it is Sabbath and we can't really do much. I can't use electronics. And even though Jacob and I aren't totally observant, I try not to do actual work. So this is something I wouldn't do on the holiday. And tonight we're going to the rabbi's house for dinner. So I did make a soup for Shabbat and it is delicious. I tried it. I just had a bunch of leftover squash and potatoes and stuff. So I put everything in the pot and then I blended it together. And then I put in some barley and some kidney beans and it's really good. So I think Jacob's gonna really like it. Maybe I'll come up with the recipe and I'll post it somewhere. But yeah, I'm really into it. It's delicious. And yeah, so that is the rest of my evening. But thanks for hanging out with me. If you're not already subscribed to my Substack newsletter, make sure to head over there so you can get access to exclusive content. And if you aren't already subscribed to my channel so you can follow along with my weekly vlogs, make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification bell. And that is it. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Before I go, I should mention, I feel like this is an odd thing. So we have a swing set in our backyard and we don't use it. So we have the swings up and over, and I don't know that it's actually that safe, but it looks kind of weird. So it's in the background now, but that's it for today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!